101.com. Today, I'm just going to basically give you from A to Z on how wholesale transaction works. My website, junkers101.com, what I do is I teach the method of wholesaling houses for quick cash. There's really no secret. There's a lot of information out there, a lot of great courses out there on the internet. I like to think that my particular course is different because you'll actually get to speak with me to walk you through your first 3 deals via phone or in person if you're here in the Birmingham, Alabama market. But just to get to it, wholesaling houses is just a technique of where you take one contract, you place a property under contract, and then you sell that property at a higher contract with an investor. You can do that through a double close or an assignment. My personal preference is through an assignment fee each time. But simply, the first thing you have to know, you have to have some type of source to determine what a property is really worth in excellent condition. It can be also called after repair value, or ARV, or ARV, as you may have heard or seen online or through books or courses that you listen to. You have to know what the property is worth. Once you determine that, once you speak with sellers, you'll place your marketing out there, whether it's through bandit signs, postcards, TV, radio, any number of ways to get your phone ringing, or you can actually search for deals through driving particular neighborhoods, the probate office, and so on. But once you speak with the seller, and with that seller, just using a $100,000 house as an example. When I say $100,000, this is what the house would be worth in excellent condition. The seller wants $30,000 for the house, for whatever reason. Once you determine, obviously, that that's a deal, that's 30 cents on the dollar on what it's worth. You also would have to know what the repairs are on the house, which I'll teach you that. That's a simple process. But normally you do repairs on just normal-sized houses for your area, just in 4 increments: $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, or $20,000. The $30,000 has to be, or where the repairs have to somewhat fall in line with the price of the house, because even though they want 30 and it needs 60,000 in repairs, then that's not a deal. So the repairs need to hover around with the purchase price, and the repairs need to hover around the 50 to 60% LTV range. When I say LTV, loan to value, on what you possibly can get a loan for on the 100% value of the property in excellent condition, which is $100,000 in this situation. All right, once the seller and you have agreed on the actual price, you from that point will place it under contract. Normally I only give $10. You've probably seen this on the internet and that stuff, and it really does work. I have given more, but in most cases I only give $10. You'll just have to fill that out. As I said, through my course, I'll teach you on what things to look for and how to avoid giving $500 or more, because it's not an actual law that you have to pay that much in earnest money. It's just more or less an industry standard with realtors. But if you're dealing with a sale by owners, you have to always think that most people have only probably done 2 or 3 deals in their actual lifetime. So once you've secured the property under contract with that particular seller, then you want to market the property to your investors. Several ways to do that: newspaper, you can call other bandit signs of investors saying that we buy houses. You can actually do a postcard campaign to investors that have bought in that area within the last 3 to 6 months. Now, you have to have a source or a database to be able to provide that information, and one source that you can use is realquest.com. Okay, we'll say that your phone starts to ring. You have the property under contract for $30,000, but you're marketing at $45,000. You have a goal that you want to make at least $5,000 off the house. So an investor calls you back and says, "Hey, Tyrone, I want to look at the house." You give them access to the property, maybe through a lockbox or whatever the situation may be. Once they call you back, they say, "Well, I can't give you 45. I'll give you 36 for the property." You agree to accept that price. You enter into an agreement with the seller, with the buyer, which is the investor, for $36,000. You set up the closing with an attorney or a title company. Some title companies will be able to close deals in-house, but from whatever point or whoever people you're using. When I say people, either your title company or your attorney, you always need to follow your deal from A to Z. From that point, once you set up the closing, you have the seller and your buyer is probably going to be the first time that they ever meet. So whenever you enter the closing, just introduce everyone. Mr. Seller, hi. Obviously they know you. This is my partner on this deal, Mr. Buyer. And everyone sits down. The seller and the buyer do all the signing. Once they finish signing, the closing attorney will bring in a check for the seller for the $30,000, and you'll get the difference between the $36,000 and the $30,000, which will total $6,000. And obviously the buyer would get the house to rehab, to sell to another family, or as a rental. This is basically how a wholesale transaction works. There, a few more details, obviously, to get you going. But as I said, with my course, my name is Tyrone Taylor, Junkers101.com. Don't hesitate to call me at any time at 205-601-0973. I'll be happy to walk you through from A to Z the transaction that I just went through briefly. But also the real value of my course is that I'm going to also hold your hand through your first 3 deals. You can call me at any time. If you call me at any point, always leave a message, and I'll call you back shortly. Thank you.